Record to the cloud. Here we go. Are you recording? Yes, amazing. Okay, Noelle asked me to come in here and kind of just take over her team call, and I know she's gone tonight. She's like doing some modeling thing. What a babe. Like, she's walking the runway tonight, and we're just going to be talking about coaching and basically how to find your business builders and create a team culture of growth. So I'm so excited that she asked me to talk about this and just explain and share from my journey on this topic, because it's really like, it's no secret. And I think it's one of the most commonly asked questions in the coaching world. Like in our community, I get asked it all the time. And it's so funny because there's no secret to this question. It's basically like, it comes down to, number one, doing the work. Number two, being intentional with that work. And number three, like making it your mission to go out and find your people. So I'm going to give like so many more tips on how to specifically go out and do that and find your business builders and find like your dream team. But before I give all of those tips and explain that, I kind of want to go over one thing. And it's the mindset that we have to have with all of this, that we need to bring into our work every single day. Because like I said, we have to be really intentional with this work. And also I just wanted to share, like when I first signed up to be a coach and started building my own team, like it took me 2 freaking years to find my dream team and like find girls that were actually willing and wanting to do this right alongside me. Some of which are on the call right now, and they're amazing. But it's just crazy. I think that a lot of times we expect, you know, dream people or our like dream team to just come out of the woodwork. And really, like I said before, there's no secret sauce to it. You literally have to just put in the work, do the vital behaviors, like do all the things you already know how to do, be intentional with that work. You know, like you don't want to just Google search a random person or like just invite a random person that's following you when you guys have nothing in common. Like, is that going to be your dream team? No. So like I said, it took me like 2 years to find my dream team. And some people it like takes them longer. Some people it takes them shorter, but there are so many things that you can do and really be intentional with that work to find those people for yourself. So upon going into this topic, we need to just remember that we never know who's going to run with this business. Like we literally never know anybody else's timeline in life. And we never know when. Like some people will come into this and be badasses like from day one and just slay. And then suddenly life like happens, shit hits the fan, and they need to take like a year break or something. Like I've seen so many coaches have that happen. Some people, it takes them a long time to get their business started up. And then all of a sudden it's like they have this huge mindset switch and then they start running with it and just go a million miles per hour. Some people, like they just work really hard from day one and they like never stop, because upon coming into this, they just have this mindset of going after their dream life and they just get it, you know? And obviously like that's what we're after. We're after finding those types of people. But again, just, we need to remember that like we never know when somebody is going to run with this or who is going to run with this. Even if, like, I just came up with this message because I've had this message a million times and had this thought a million times, like, oh my gosh, Sally said she wants to build a 6-figure business right alongside me by tomorrow. She's going to be my next rock star. And we just like can't have that mindset, because it does a few things to us that is really unhealthy. So like, number one, we get attached to the outcome that Sally's going to build a 6-figure business, and like that may never happen. And so we don't want to let ourselves get attached to that outcome, because Sally's journey might end up being so different than we like are expecting it to be or wanting it to be for her. Because really, like, we can want things for our coaches and we can dream really big dreams for our coaches and see so much potential in them. And that's probably one of the hardest parts of this business, because none of that will actually build their business for them. Like, not enough of our own belief, not enough of our own excitement, or you know, passion for that coach will build their business. Like the only thing that will build their business is them putting in the work. And so our job as coaches is to help them and encourage them to put in that work every single day and give them the tips that we have learned and the strategies that we're using to make that work better and easier every single day. So those are just like the main things we need to remember upon going into finding our team and building this like dream team for ourselves. I think there was one more thing. Let me just make sure with my notes. Oh yeah, like we just need, I think when you start working this coaching business, after a while, like if you've been in it for a year or 2 years or 3 years, you know, you're doing the same things every day and it can get mundane. Like it has its ups and downs. And so I think for our own sanity and joy in this business, like we can't rely on other people's outcomes. Like we can't rely on Sally being this dream coach, this rock star coach that comes and builds her business so fast, because that's stealing our own joy from what we do in this business, helping people with changing their own lives and helping them get healthy. Like we have to come back to that as our base and our focus. And also like just remember 2 kind of quotes, mindsets. You might want to write these down. I can type them in the chat too. But one is, and I've been told this literally since the beginning, some will, some won't, who's next? I remember like Chelsea Pearson, I think was the one who told me that. And it's a little bit harsh at first when you hear it, but really it's just the truth. Like that's the way this business is. Like some people will do it. Some will come alongside you and work with you and some won't. And it's not like gonna help anybody for us to get attached to whatever that outcome is for the person. So just keep moving on, keep searching, keep finding more people. And then the other one is, this is my journey and my dream. So I'm going whether or not they choose to come with. And again, like it can sound a little bit harsh, but that's the reality. Like we signed up for our dreams with our health journey or our dreams with this business and what it can give us for our life, making our life better in whatever way, like whatever your why is. And I think when we get attached to the outcome of our coaches' goals and whatever they're pursuing, like it's so unhealthy and it's so scary because it's not their dream. Like it's our dream. So that one really, really hit home for me. So anyways, now that we've gone over like the mindset we have to take before we can go into like the actual steps and actionable tools to take in order to find those people, I'm going to start diving into all that stuff. So, oh, and last little thing, sorry, that was such a long section. It can be really hard to switch your mindset to knowing that like some people won't do this and won't commit to what they say. Like some people will totally do the opposite of what they say. They'll be like, yeah, I want to build a 6-figure business. I want to be a business builder, whatever. And so we really have to look at the results and the outcomes. Like, are they actually signing people up? Are they actually doing the work? And then those are the people that we gravitate to. Those are the people that we like link arms with and work right alongside with. And some of those people might be the people on your team. Like, it might be a success partner, or it might be your coach, right? Like if you can't find anybody in your community that is actually putting in the work and wants to build this business just like you do and chase after dreams just like you do, then we have to like find those girls, even if they're not your own personally sponsored coaches, and like link arms with them so strong and so hard, because that is what will get us through the tough seasons where we're not finding our people. And that's what got me through it for like the first 2 years of this business. So say it every day if you have to, like I'm attracting my tribe, or those affirmations, those quotes that I gave you, like write it down if you have to every single day. Write it on a sticky note, put it on your mirror so you see it every day. And then, like I said, link arms with those ones that you see putting in the work and are in this for the long haul and chasing after their dream life. Okay, gotta breathe. Take a sip of Energize. Okay, now diving into like what we can actually do to find those people, because there are really tangible tools. Number one is the vital behavior. Number one, lead by example. So basically for this, I just wrote share that shit, because when you have a really, really big dream for yourself and for your life, and it was created from coaching, and like Noelle was on our call last night and she said something amazing. She said, coaching taught me how to dream. And that's so true for me too. I didn't have massive dreams before like becoming a coach. I like had such a limiting kind of mindset for myself and for my life. And then when I became a coach, I was like, whoa, like if I can hit this goal with my health, what can I do with the rest of my life if I like transfer these tools and this whole system of just pursuing goals and like putting the action steps into place in my life, like what's possible for me. So you need to lead by example and share on Instagram, in your boot camps, with your challengers, like share with everybody in your freaking life, in your posts, in stories, on IGTV, like in your live videos, do it all. And share your dream, like share your goals, share where you're going and how you're going to get there and when it's going to happen. Like I remember January of, I think it was last year, like I had a massive goal. We were living in a townhouse and my goal was to quit my barista job, to move into a renovated RV, renovate that RV. Like I had so many crazy goals and I like had no idea if it was actually going to happen, but I knew that if I put in the work, coaching was going to help me get to all of those goals. It was going to provide the finances. It was going to allow me more time freedom and all those things. And so I posted like a crazy person on social media that like, this is my dream and this is where I'm going with this. And, you know, if any of my barista like coworkers or my bosses were following me, I just didn't really care because it wasn't their dream and it wasn't about them and they weren't the people that I was trying to sign up. So just be unashamed and like share that dream, whatever your dream is with coaching. Maybe it's, you know, to free yourself financially. Maybe it's to build a future of freedom, like time freedom for your family, whatever it is that's drawn you into coaching, like share it just like a crazy person basically. And what's really cool about doing that is 2 to 3 to 5, like however many years in, sometimes months in, but I've really seen a huge shift over like the year mark and then the 2-year mark. People watching your journey, whether in your boot camps or on Instagram, like social media, they will reach out and they will be like, oh my gosh, like I'm so inspired by the work that I've seen you do over the past however much time. And like, that's just so exciting because you don't have to like persuade that person. You don't have to coerce them to like get in your group. They've literally seen your journey, the whole entire process of it, and they're like convinced because they see that it works. They've seen you go first and foremost. So like if you have to think about it, you sharing your journey so boldly and unashamed and sharing your dreams and how you're going to get there and then like hitting those goals and making massive moves. Like I remember when Carly was my coach and she was like, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to go full time with coaching. And then she did, like seeing that progression happen. I was like, oh my gosh, like if she can do it, then I can do it. And so remember, like you as a leader and as the leader of your team, sharing all that stuff, like that is, you're just like out in the jungle with your machete and you're like cutting down trees because you are making a way, paving a path for all the coaches who are going to come on your team, you know, years down the road, months down the road, whatever it is. So many of my business builders, I feel like, have signed up after waiting and just kind of watching from the sidelines, or maybe they had to join a challenge group first and then they got the experience and then they wanted to be a business builder. So just don't ever underestimate the power of sharing. It's crazy. Like people are always watching. And then the ones that didn't join my team and like have become business builders, and they didn't join just from like watching kind of and waiting from the sidelines, the way that I got them, you know, involved in the business opportunity is literally the second part of what we can do to recruit people to our team. So it's simple, right? Like it's inviting, it's hosting coach workshops or coach sneak peeks, whatever you want to call them. So I wrote down invite like it's your job, 'cause it's your job. That's the thing I think we always forget. Like inviting is literally the bread and butter to this business. If you want to, you know, I don't know. Some people think that inviting and reach outs are the same thing. And for me, I do reach outs as well as invites. Like a reach out for me is like a new follower on my page and we've never talked before. And so I say, hey, like, let's just connect. You know, I'm not like inviting her to my boot camp. It's more of just like a reach out to say hello and like, let's build a friendship. Let's start a relationship. So when I'm talking about invites, I don't mean like that. I mean like, you know, either a follow-up kind of check-in thing where I'm like, hey girl, how's it been going? Like you've talked before and you're asking about their health journey or their coaching journey or whatever. Or the second half of that was, oh my gosh, brain fart. I just lost everything. This happens to me all the time. Oh, just like the general invite, like a general invite to a random person that you've been watching or talking with on social media. So yeah, I just wanted to like clear that because I don't know, some teams say reach outs and invites differently. So anyways, an example of like what I would say to somebody that I'm inviting to the coaching opportunity is really like simple. It's basically just like a casual conversation. So maybe she liked a post about the coaching opportunity, like I shared my journey in it or something. I would usually just say like, hey, Alex, I saw you liked my post that I shared recently about my coaching journey. I'm hosting this coach workshop next weekend. Would so love for you to be a part of it. Are you interested in coaching, you know, or are you intrigued by the lifestyle, or what is it about the post that really like made you curious or inspired or something like that, you know? So I usually just try to ask a question to create a conversation and then mention whatever I've got going on. And if I don't have a coach workshop going on, it's like just an invite to learning more. And then I try to get them onto email and just continue that conversation. But basically, like, I just think we totally forget about how powerful these invites are, like specifically coaching invites. We cannot forget to do these. And for me, my system is kind of the first half of the month, I invite to a boot camp. And then the second half of the month, I'm inviting to coaching. I'm not like living or dying by that, but it's usually I like to invite people to something that I have going on. So I'm all like my boot camp is opening up for registration or it's like officially starting on this coming Monday. So on Monday, I'm going to make a huge shift in my personal social media and like messages and shift to coaching. So I'm going to reach out to girls and start the conversation about coaching, and it'll literally just be what I just told you. Like it's so simple. I think it's like stupid, right? Like we overcomplicate this work that we do as coaches because it's so crazy. This idea of finding our dream team or like looking for business builders or finding business builders, but it's so simple. So when it comes down to like inviting and coach workshops and all that stuff, it comes down to numbers. It comes down to like, if you sign up 10 people, the odds of 3 of those people wanting to work the business as opposed to just like one of them wanting to work the business goes up, right? And so if we can sign up more coaches every single month from those coaching invites, from those coach workshops that we're hosting, the likelihood of them staying or them actually being business builders goes way up. So for me, that is how I have personally like found a lot more business builders faster in the past 2 years was like the moment I started just 10xing my activities with everything and trying to recruit more people in a month. So I wanted to just touch on how I host my coach workshops and sneak peeks, because I know everybody kind of does that differently, but this has been what works for me. And it's kind of funny because I've literally tried coach workshops in all the different ways, like hosting them a million different ways. And I think that's kind of the best way to do it. I think people get bored really easily. And I think if you have somebody that's joined like 3 or 4 of your coach workshops, the best way to keep it exciting and keep them joining and keep them interested in learning is to change it up, like change how you're hosting the freaking coach workshop every single month. So I used to host these every month when I first started as a coach. And then when I was pushing for Diamond, which was a massive goal for me at the time, I was like so scared of it. I started hosting them every week. So I would highly encourage you guys, like if you have a huge goal that you're pushing for right now, start hosting those coach workshops like every week. Find either a success partner that you can host them with, or just go crazy and host them on your own, because like I said in the beginning, it's your dream. And if you want it to work, you got to work for it, right? So host those coach workshops. There's so many different ways you can do it. You can do it with friends. Like I said, you can do a live Zoom call like this. I've tried that before with multiple girls. I've done like an in-person thing. I've brought people to a live event, like a Super Saturday event. That was really, really fun. Get on the phone with people, like have a real call with them, have a real conversation. And I think that one can be like super scary, but like we have to come back to this topic, like the core of this topic. And it's that we want to build a dream team. And if it's our dream team, the people on that team are our best friends. Like that's the ideal goal, right? Like I want to build a team of all of my best friends. And so if you have it, like if that's the goal, you got to go out and find your best friends. Like go find people that you would want to be friends with and be friends with them. And from there, like that's how the coaching opportunity will just like naturally come into play. Because if coaching is a big part of your life, you're going to befriend somebody. You're going to invite them to something, whether it's a virtual workshop or the coaching opportunity or something. Like you're going to invite them to learn more. And then hopefully from the friendship, it can grow into more. And when you also have like fear with this, or fear with inviting or sharing this opportunity with them, the other thing I try to remember and like remind myself daily is it could actually change their life. Like, has coaching changed my life? That's what I always ask myself. Like, is this a gift? Yes. Like, am I living my dream life now because of this? Yes. Or am I on my way? If maybe you're not there yet, but like you're on your way, or you're like pursuing a goal. Yes. So is sharing it being rude, or is it nice? Like, is it a gift that you're sharing with somebody? I know Kate Schultz always says, don't be a bitch, hit send. So I can think of that too. But you know, it's selfish to not share something that has absolutely changed your life, right? Like if you had a friend who's struggling with acne and you like have the cure for acne, why would you not share that with her? So anyways, that is pretty much all I have to share. That was so much, but this is just such a good topic, and we could go on and on and on all night long. So that's all I got. If Marissa, you have any questions, or Kara, I can see your screen on here. You guys can just like unmute yourselves or post in the comments. I love that Ryder was on here. He's so cute.
Okay, so I'm gonna just unmute myself and talk.
Yes.
So I have a goal to be diamond by the end of the month, and I've like talked with Noelle about it. We had a one-on-one call earlier this week, and like I've been reaching out like crazy, and basically I just want to know like what is like the one thing that got you past, because I'm like fucking terrified of this, but I'm like pumped at the same time. But like just what's the biggest thing that got you past that fear? Like are open about like talking about it, because like my best friends say like that's not a real thing, you're not gonna do well at it.
Oh, such a good question. And it's so hard, like especially with people that are close to us, when they like don't believe in it and they're super outright about it. I mean, so I would say like first off, if your close friends are the ones who like aren't being super supportive, and you've already talked about it with them multiple times, then like it's just not the right timing for them. And don't give up on them, but like maybe right now isn't the best time for them to get on board or like sign up. I know when I first shared it with like my mom or with Chad even, like they were pretty unsupportive and just like skeptical. And I signed my mom up initially, like my first month, but then she canceled because she like thought it was a total scam. And then she like re-signed up 6 months later. So yeah, if you like push people really, really hard when you first start and they're like that and they're being super just unresponsive and like that's a pyramid scheme and they're not willing to listen to you, then that might happen. Like they'll sign up and then they cancel and then they'll come back or whatever, or they won't sign up and then they'll come back 6 months from now. So that can be really, really tough. But I would say like if they are open to talking it out with you and like they're just like they have questions about it all, then maybe ask them, you know, like would you Jennifer be you know, would you ever want to just like sit down and like talk about it, because I feel like this could totally change your life and this could totally help you with where you're at. You know, I had a friend who actually she's doing like the IIN right now. So she's pursuing health coaching just in a different way. And I've talked to her about it a million times, and it's like 2 years later now. But in the beginning, it was so hard to share. And so I think we just were on a drive one time. We were driving somewhere like to the mall or something. And I was just like, have I ever shared coaching with you or shared about it with you? Like I just totally randomly like, have I ever? Because she was just like, no, I haven't. Like, no, you've never told me about that. And we were talking about something else. So I just totally interrupted and like brought it up. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I've been meaning to talk to you about it because it's like changing my life, or like it's helping me with this, this, and this. So even if you need to do it like that, like be so random. But if you already know they're like super skeptical and being rude about it, then it's like move on to somebody else and try to find your people. I don't know. Does that help? It's tough.
So I'm going to unmute myself real quick because Marissa, my situation was really similar to yours. When I started, I didn't have any warm market that supported me, like my friends, my family, nobody. And basically, you just have to keep showing up because I'm a diamond coach, and it's going to happen. Whether they come with you or not, it's going to happen. Like you get to choose whether it happens or not. And my best friend sells Herbalife. She doesn't do Beachbody. She doesn't even support me. And I just kept showing up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be successful in this. And now she's trying to sell Herbalife, and she's doing terrible. Not that like I wish ill happenings on her, but she now realizes how hard it is to run a business and how hard it is to try something new. And I think now she's like kicking herself, thinking like, wow, I didn't realize like how hard this was for you, and I wasn't there to support you, kind of thing. So just keep showing up, show up every day, show up in your stories, show up on your Instagram, show people your results. They're going to see you, even if it takes them a year, they're going to see you kicking butt. They're going to see you getting insane results, and they're going to be like, wow, she didn't give up. And the thing is people are expecting you to give up. I literally heard from day one from everybody that I knew, my closest friends, oh, that's so stupid. You're never going to be successful with that. You're never going to make it. You're never going to like rank advance with that. That's so dumb. Like literally everyone said that to me. And I was just like, screw you guys. I'm going to freaking do this whether you believe in me or not, because I believe in myself. So if you're relying on your success based on what someone else tells you you can or can't do, then you will fail in this business. You have to succeed because you believe in yourself and you know your potential and you know how amazing you are. That's what's going to get you to diamond. That's what's going to help you rank advance, and that's what's going to keep you successful in this business, and that's what's going to help you build business builders and get people insane results and build a massive team of people, because they see you not giving up, and people are expecting you to give up. So the second that you go through a rough time or things get crappy, because they will, things will get really, really crappy. You're going to have rough months. Last month sucked. I barely hit Success Club, and I've never had that issue. And it sucked, but I didn't let that make me give up. And I know there are people out there that are literally rooting for me to fail. They don't want me to succeed, and I'm going to prove them wrong. I'm going to show up every single day, and I'm going to keep doing it regardless of how crappy 1 month goes from the next. And that's what you have to do. And people are going to see that you didn't give up when things got tough, and be honest about it. Like, I'm always honest with my followers. I'm never like, oh, this is so easy, because if you give people that mentality, then they're going to expect that it's easy. And if they sign up with you and realize 2 weeks in that it's actual work, they're going to give up and they're not going to stick with you. So I'm always honest about it. I'm like, hey, this month really, really sucks and it's really hard. We're going through a rough time. Just be honest about your story so people will see that, oh, wow, she had a really crappy month, but she didn't give up. She kept coaching, and look at her. It's been a year now and she's still coaching, even though the beginning was hard, or the middle was hard. She had a bad month. She didn't get anyone signed up 1 month or something like that, but you didn't give up. People see that and they're like, wow, that's inspiring. Like, she didn't give up. I can do that. And that's when people will sign up, and that's when business will explode. So don't give up. Sorry for my long rant, but don't give up. You can make diamond happen. Regardless if people want to come along with you or not, you're going to make it happen whether they support you or not.
Yeah, and that goes back to like the first thing I said. Like, I had to write that down for myself. And I feel like Kara talked about that on her team call on Sunday night with Team Rich Rise. But it's like, this is my journey and my dream. So like, no matter what people decide, you know, if they want to be a part of it, cool. But it's like, I'm going this way. You guys can either hop on the train or not. And I think it's so funny because when we look back in our journeys, like when you had all the haters, like I don't really have a crap ton of haters now, but when I first started, I did. Like, you know, the haters were my family and close friends, but I was so fueled by that. Like, it was my reason to go. And so I like was just so motivated to keep going. And now, like I said, I don't really have a lot of that. And so like the motivation has to come from somewhere else now. Like, it has to come from me. So it really can be your reason and you can use it. So, oh, so good. Any other questions? Go ahead, Diamond. That's so exciting. Oh, there was one thing I just saw in my notes I totally missed and didn't share. And this could actually pertain to your situation, but like if you have a warm market or just people in general that are closer to you and aren't being super supportive, I would get really, really clear about who you want to find and add to your team, and like add as a coach, a working coach to your team that's someone you don't already know. So go on social media, you know, and search out like your ideal girl, your ideal coach or bestie who could help build this business right alongside you. Like, what would she look like, you know? How would she dress? Like, literally get so specific about those things. So yeah, so you can get like so clear, and even like write it down in a notepad, like create a little bubble map and write out like, you know, she's into bohemian clothing, or like for me, she used to be a barista, or maybe she works in the serving industry, or like a yoga teacher, because those were all jobs that I previously had. And so those are like some of the coaches that I search for on Instagram right now. When I'm like going out to invite people to the coaching opportunity, like I'm looking for people that have a lot of similarities to me, and girls that I would like genuinely want to be friends with, girls that are into like holistic health, or like more just like natural living, like natural products and natural stuff like that, like no chemicals. Like that's something I'm like really passionate about. So it's really, really fun too, that like when you start pursuing that and like using social media to like search out and find your ideal girl that you want to be on your dream team. Cause then you're like, ooh, I want her and I want her. Oh my gosh, like she seems so cool. And I've literally found girls and like signed them up within the week when I do that. Like if I find, there's been seriously like a situation where I found a girl and I like called her and we had like a 2-hour phone conversation and she signed up the next day. So it's crazy, but it works. Social media. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording.